Welcome to part 2 of Ideal Customer Avatar. Now, if you're wondering where you use your ideal customer avatar or how you integrate that into your overall strategy, good news, we're about to cover it. We're going to tell you all the things you need to know. So, if this entire section is about finding your ideal customer, and we've already built out the ideal customer avatar, you can pretty much bet that some of the questions that you would have answered or that you should answer for building out your ideal customer is things like, where do they shop? Where do they spend time on social media? Which social media platforms are they on? So are they on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Clubhouse? Like, what social media platforms does your ideal customer hang out on? And where do they shop? Do they shop online at like Nordstrom, Target, Amazon? Like, where are they doing their shopping? So when you understand where your ideal customer shops at, what they're doing, is you're building this profile, right? You're going to build out this very detailed profile as part of ideal customer avatar. Very detailed. You're going to know every intimate detail about who this person is, why they shop, what triggers them to shop, when they shop, where they shop, how they pay. Do they pay in cash? Are they overextended? All of those things, you're going to understand it. And then you will build your marketing around that customer and where they shop. So if you've got, for example, let's use us. We know that our ideal customer hangs out in groups on Facebook, on Instagram a little bit, scrolling, not so much buying, but scrolling. They're definitely on LinkedIn and they're definitely on Clubhouse. So we find ways to market on those platforms, and it looks different for every platform. And marketing to them either through paid ads or just through the content that we're putting out that speaks to some of the pains that we've identified as part of our ideal customer avatar, speaks to some of the pains and makes our ideal customer go, that might be something for me. So it kind of all fits together. And this doesn't just work like for social media or for the internet. This would work for, if you want to send advertising through the United States Postal Service, if you want to use door knockers, if you want to put up, posters at your church. This is identifying everywhere that your ideal customer is, where they like to hang out, what they do, and then creating content to hit those particular areas. And sometimes you have to try different things, right? And that's why we have the marketing strategy, and why later on we talk about measuring your marketing to make sure that it's effective. But try different areas, be super consistent. Marketing is all about consistency, right? It's a numbers game, and you can't just post once or twice a week and be like, it's not working. It's not going to work if you're not consistent with it. You have to be super consistent. So be consistent, post, and make phone calls if cold calling is part of your strategy. Whatever it is, you have to be consistent, and you have to go out and speak to your ideal customer where they're hanging out. It's not overly complicated, and if you've done a really thorough job of defining your ideal customer, you should be able to speak to them where they're at. And then once you find them, it just becomes a matter of conversations, and hopefully what your sales cycle looks like. And if you don't, we're going to cover that later as well. But if you've got a sales cycle where you engage with a prospect like 2 or 3 times, then you start that process. If it's a one phone call and you hook them, you start that process. If it's an email process where you're cold emailing them after you get them to sign up for an email list, start that process. Essentially, you got to find them, and then you move into your sales process. Honestly, it's not rocket science. I wish it was, because then I could sell it and make a ton of money on it, because y'all would be my ideal customers, but it's not. It's really easy once you start the process and once you really understand who your customer is. So again, if you have any questions, you know where to find us. Email us, call us, text us, whatever. Find us on social media. but we're glad to walk you through defining your ideal customer avatar if you need additional help after you've finished this session. We'll see you in week 3.